Morning everyone. Okay, you join me today at Foss Cross. Just walked about half a mile in from the A429 Foss Way, and now approaching the old track bed. We're going to have a look at what remains of Foss Cross station, and I'm going to be looking for some sidings, especially some quarry sidings which seem to crop up in quite a few of the descriptions of the area around Foss Cross. So without further ado, we'll get out on that track bed. And the first thing to have a look at is this rather nice accommodation bridge. So the line opened in 1861 when it linked Cirencester Watermore to Andoversford Junction stations. A little bit dark in here. It's quite a foggy drive across from Morton in the Marsh to here, but it is clearing up slowly. A lot of holes in that wall. I don't know what that's all about. Nice buttresses there. And look how they've done the corners with the engineering blues coin stones, albeit bricks, but they're meant to look like coins. That's a nice feature. And then that one up on the top. And what distinguishes that from the Banbury and Cheltenham, of course, is the lack of a picture frame motif. There you go. So that's the Cirencester side. I'll just pan across. And you've got a mirror image on this side, same blue engineering coins. That nice feature up there. Another buttress, abutment with a cap. And then a retaining wall just there. That meets up with a rather substantial concrete post and strut. And I should think that was pulling a fair length of fence wire, that one. That's massive. All concrete posts going in that direction, as you can see. And we'll come back round the corner. This is actually a designated footpath through here, so if you walk up here, if you park on the lay-by opposite, or almost opposite the stump, the pub, affectionately known as a stump, as you walk into the access road, it does say private road, but this is a designated footpath off the Foss Way. I'm not sure where it goes, up the back of CHEDWORTH somewhere. There you go. And a bit of a change of design there. I just suppose they did that. There must have been something resting on that. It doesn't say. Oh, they have. Just a minute, I'll just pan back across. There's something similar there. Maybe it's just they felt they needed an extra thickness and weight of stone in that particular buttress wall there. It's a bit odd. Okay, so that's rather nice. That's pointing towards Cirencester, and that one's pointing back towards CHEDWORTH. Still like to know what that is. Anybody like to comment on why they've done that? Much appreciated. Okay, we need to turn around and go in the direction of Cirencester then. Okay, start to come off the embankment now. And the bridge is behind us, the accommodation bridge. Let's pick my way through this lot. And we can't be far off the old station site now. In fact, there's the first building coming up in front. quite sure what that was used for. Indeed, I'm not sure it's on any of the photos. It's going to be a storage shed. Yeah, possibly what it is. Some old 5-gallon drums in there. And you can see those on the floor. Some lead covered shelves. Bit of a hard standing on the floor there with that can standing on it. So it looks like some sort of storage shed with it, for perhaps for lamp oil or something. Okay. Tin roof, yep. Right. Interesting, okay. I can see the platform now. So I'll stick up a photograph of what the station looked like in its day, facing towards Cirencester, and then we can try and pick out exactly what was standing and what buildings were standing on the platform. There's the sloping front edge of the platform. You can see that, and there's nice coping stones on the top. Surprised they're still there. Mind you, it would be a long way to haul that lot out. So there we are. And then according to the photo I've put up, the main building sits in about the middle of the platform. Next to it on this side would have been the signal box, and then on the end, on the other end, the Cirencester end, was like a tin shed. Whether that was a permanent way hut where they kept the tools and possibly the oil lamps for the signals, that's a possibility. That looks like it used to be a set of steps, I think, onto the platform there. There's the main building. You can see that buried in the undergrowth. I'll just have a look before we go up to the main building. I'll just have a look from the Cirencester end, because this place is starting to look familiar, and I don't mean in a railway sense, I mean in a tree planting sense. Rabbit fence, here we are. Now then, this looks very familiar. I'm looking at the species of trees, and that's just about the sort of species I'd have been planting back in the probably 73, 74. Maple trees, Norway maples. Absolutely useless. The squirrels love them. I'm just trying to find a post and a strut, but I can't see one. Okay. Well, that's a definite, I think. Beech trees, yeah, Norway maple, and they're either, the conifers are either thuya or Lawson cypress, dotted through with Scots pine. There's one just there. Let's see the top of it. So yeah, so that's the forestry bit over with. I thought I'd recognise it from photographs. From what I can remember, it had been gutted way back then. So yeah. Right, where was I? The Cirencester end of the platform tapering away down there, and somewhere in there, if you can see those stones on the other photograph I'm going to put up, it shows the Foss Cross station sign with a little garden round it edged with stones, and that would have been about there. So I wonder if those stones came off the little garden. Could be. And you can see the platform carrying on along there. Interesting. And over on this side, there's a loading dock, I think, and that stone probably came originally from the stone quarry. More about the stone quarry in a bit. So if I stand back here, somewhere there, and look back towards Chedworth, the first thing we're missing obviously is the second platform. And this photo also shows the sidings, the good sidings, going along behind the second platform. So that's all been grubbed out. There you go. And then that goes on down there towards Cirencester. Just have a little wander along. Obviously there'd been a, you can see how wide it is. You probably can't see the other fence through there, but it was a double track obviously going through the station. Plus sidings. So yeah, no, I don't know what that is down there. I don't think it relates to railway. In fact, it looks like it is. It's old beehives. So there you have it. Interesting. Okay, we'll wander back then and have a look in the main building and see what we can see. Okay, there's the platform edge then. We're looking back towards Chedworth. Just turn around and there's the main station building. I don't know if you've noticed, the one glaring omission from this building that you can see in all the photographs is it never had a canopy, despite the fact it was isolated, and well, the weather in the winter up here must have been absolutely awful, but it never had a canopy, which is slightly odd. Okay, this is one of the entrances. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see a lot in here because it's rather dark. You can see some bits and pieces. Well, the roof's holding up a bit. There's one of the doors. You probably can't see that. There's a bricked up door there. Gents urinals, which you probably can't see because it's too dark. And there's a single brick skin wall there, which obviously divides off the gents urinals from the next part of the building. Original door. Breeze block the other side of that, blocking it off. And then I'm guessing there'd have been another. That looks like a quite a large window there. Yeah. And then this end, well, logically, if the gents was the other end, you would expect this to be the ladies. So what do we have? Ladies' loos. There's the, you probably can't see that either. I'll just turn around and have a look at the other side. There we are. Probably just about make that out. There's the single skin brick wall, the scar of the single skin brick wall. So it looks like it was 1, 2, 3, 4 individual rooms. So presumably ladies on the Cirencester end. Ticket, probably baggage maybe. Ticket office, station master's office perhaps. And then on the other end, the gents. That's the way it looks to me anyway. You might just be able to make out the what's left of the urinals up against that end, that gable end wall. That's interesting. There's a lot else to see. That's a bricked up window there, almost in total darkness. I was hoping the sun was going to be out by now, but looks to me as if the fog might be coming back. So there we are. This is the remains of the door of the main entrance. And not looking too happy. Yeah. It's nice to see it still here and with, well, most of its roof. Okay, that's that one then. Looking over the platform. There we are. There's the platform edge. Lovely. And it looks as if the roof is made of asbestos. Yep, that's asbestos. There you go. All red brick construction, of course. And that's the point at which the Junction urinals exited the building, or the product of the Junction urinals, I should say. So God knows where that ran to. Straight into the ground by the looks of it. There you go, something you don't see very often in a railway movie. Now this here, I'm standing right next to this rather large iron post with a hook on the top. I'm not totally sure what that's for. I think it was probably upright. Was it for hanging baskets or what? I don't know. So as per the old photographs, that's the edge of the main building. Just here would have been a picket fence, wooden picket fence, and then about here, obviously there's nothing left of it at all now, would be this. It would have been a wooden signal box. Not a scrap of evidence that that was there. Here you go. This is what you usually find with these places though. When they stripped them out, they stripped them out good. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to get off the top of the platform. Have a little wander up here. There's the platform edge still. It's interesting they didn't build that of brick, they built it of stone. I don't know what the reason for that was. It's not doing very well in the frost and the wet though, is it? Starting to perish down in there. Interesting. Of course the coping stones of engineering brick, they're as solid as the day they were put there. Okay, I'll just manoeuvre through here. Somewhere just about there in front of that building would have been the first signal. Okay, just to give you some idea of how bleak and exposed this place is, we'll have a landscape shot. That's looking towards Cirencester. And believe me, it's cold up here today. Well, it must have been like in the blizzard. Can't really imagine. There you go, it goes all the way around there. Hardly any trees. There's the pine trees that are probably from the original approach to the railway. Can't verify that, but it wouldn't surprise me. Okay, that's Foss Cross Station. Now, Foss Cross never really was never really used very much by pedestrian passengers, travelling passengers. It was more of a goods railway. And not long after it opened, the good folk of CHEDWORTH decided that actually a station at Foss Cross was a pretty bad idea. So they petitioned the railway company, and 14 months later a station opened in CHEDWORTH. And unfortunately that wasn't used very much by the paying public either, and that was reduced in status to a halt in 1925. Of course the whole lot had gone by 1961, yeah. I've just arrived back at the accommodation bridge, or the wall leading away from the accommodation bridge. I don't know if you can see those rather large stones comprising that wall, but where the wall ends, I don't know if you can see that. I'll get as close as I can, but there's a thing in front of me is a blackthorn bush. I don't definitely want to get stabbed by that. In there's a large gate post, a gate hook, and attached to that gate hook is a gate. You can see that down in there. Can't see the hook on the bottom, it's buried in ivy. Yeah, there you go. That really is bleak. Cold, not nice. And there's a shot at the back of the platform, looking towards CHEDWORTH. And there's a dry stone wall all the way along the back of there, holding that lot up. And I'll look a bit further up here. And there's the rabbit-proof fence, rotten in the top, and the line wire squeezed the post as it rotted. But that's high tensile wire, that is. I'm just having a walk up this field to have a view of the back of the station, as it's difficult to get to from actually on the track bed. Concrete railway post. And another one. Rabbit fence still going. I can't remember how long it took us to fence and plant this. Was a hell of a job. And there's another. I'll just get round behind this rather nasty thorn bush. There's another massive gate post in there, look. That's what, 12 inch by 12 inch at least. Massive gate hooks, hinge hooks, one there, one at the bottom. There must have been one hell of a gate. Oh, here we go. Another gate post across there. So that was gated in. And there's a very rudimentary kissing gate there by the looks of it. Well, I never. Big iron band look. Absolutely fascinating. Let's just have a closer look. I'll zoom out a little bit, that's better. Closer look at those two huge gate posts. That's what, 5'6" high. Look at the size of those hinges. Absolutely enormous. And we'll pan across here to the other one, and that actually is 2 sleepers butted together. I never. Where the rail chairs went. So this appears to be some sort of access point up to the station. That dry stone wall goes all the way down there. So you've got your railway fence on the left, dry stone wall on the right, and then just here got this rather splendid but quite basic little kissing gate. Big iron band, and you wonder whether there were some rails on that, don't you? Or some uprights on that rail. I'll bet there were. In fact, just notice you can't see it because it's practically buried. It's down there. There's the other one. So there were upright spars, or pails then we'll call them, and a little gate. There's the hinge. Not quite so weighty, that one. Obviously a much smaller gate. There's the bottom hinge down in there. Oh, that's a good find. That's nice. So you have to ask, was that originally an entrance into the station for, I don't know, horse-drawn vehicles, possibly? Don't know. And the station's just up through there. So yeah, it's definitely an access. Good, glad I found that. Here we are. Another quick look at the kissing gate. And then we'll move on up to the back of the main building. Absolutely fascinating. Okay, get rid of this thorn bush and just press on a little bit further up here. I'm hoping we'll be able to see the back of the station, but you never know. Okay, there's the back of the little red brick storage hut that we looked at, with the old rusty 5-gallon drums in. So the platform's just here. The concrete posts are still going, the rabbit fence is still going. Just see the apex of the roof of the main building, and it looks as if it's blocked off by conifers. We'll have a quick look. We used to plant conifers along the windward side to help protect the other trees as sort of a windbreak. Here we go. This is the bit I wanted to look at. I wonder what that is. Well, I could see that from the from on the top of the platform, but I couldn't get to it. There you go. That has to be a bird box, bat box, bird box, owl box. Don't know. Probably an owl box. Where is it? There it is. How interesting. Okay. That's what I was looking for. I found that huge, great big, those 2 great big gate posts as a bonus, so a good trip. And I'll catch you all on the next one.